Hello, CAT aspirants. Welcome to Super Grads, and I am your English mentor, Sana Jaffrey. And I welcome you to this very amazing, riveting, and productive series, Word Power Made Easy. And today, we're doing session 10 to 11, and we'll be talking about how to talk about science and scientists. All right. So the point here is if you simply merely looking at the title get a feeling that, oh, so it's only going to be about science, that has a very limited scope, my dear, you are mistaken. The session ahead will be loaded with very useful root words. Apart from that, of course, the clustering is around science, but then there are many useful terms and jargons that you're very likely to find in your CAT passages. Moreover, in many other examinations, there are questions like one word substitution where these terms can actually come handy, right? So that's the reason why we are taking this up. And of course, in this very nice book, Word Power Made Easy, 2 to 3 sessions are dedicated to this particular theme. So I hope you will really benefit from this session. Stay glued to the session. If you like the session, kindly like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment, right? That is going to encourage us a lot. So without much ado, let's dive in the session. So we, of course, will be talking about some very interesting professions or particular specialized fields of science today. And along with that, some root words related to that. Okay, so here we go. We start with the very famous, something that you will come across a lot in your passages, anthropology. So class, what is anthropology? It comes from the root anthropos. And what does anthropos mean? It means mankind. Fine. And logy is logos. We already know that. So logos is the science of something or the study of something. So anthropology literally translates to the study of mankind, right? Now, what exactly does it mean? Study of mankind? I mean, what specifically? Let's have that perfect understanding of this term. So, this is, I would say, an interdisciplinary science which is about, human development in the social and cultural context. See, this is all about mankind, how we developed in mind and body from primitive cultures and early forms. So how the human societies evolved, right? From the first species, the primitive species, from a primates, how we evolved, what were the changes that occurred in us, our mind and body, our relations, our role, how everything evolved, how the human societies evolved. That's all about anthropology. I hope you've understood this. And with the route that I've told you, it's going to be even easier, right? Another thing is astronomy. I think this is very, very easy. I will be talking about its root also in a while, right? Astronomy and astrology में confusion नहीं होना चाहिए. ठीक है ना? Astrology थोड़ा अलग हो जाता है. ये वो हो जाता है when you're trying to predict the future of people by looking at the position of the stars and the planets, right? तो foretelling वाला horoscope वाली जो field होती है वो astrology होती है. This is astronomy and this is the study of galaxies, stars, planets, universe. It comes from the root astron, which means a star. Okay? Yes? So I think clearly आप समझते हो astronomy and astronauts we all know. This is very common. So I will not be talking much about it. Geology. What is geology? Geology basically earth science के बारे में है, right? It looks at how the earth was formed, what about its structures, its compositions, comes from the root geo, and geo means earth. Fine. Another word, biology. We already know about biology. Biology is the study of all living organisms, all living matter. Okay, so geology is about earth, उसका structure, उसकी layers कैसे बने, right? Mountains हुए, जितने भी उसके composition वगैरह और क्या क्या forces उस पे act कर रहे हैं, that is geology. Biology, study of all living organisms, be it flora or fauna. Botany specifically would be about plants. Remember, it's a study of plants, including their growth, structure, reproduction, and how they can be best cultivated for human use. Next, Now here, up tak whatever words we took, I think they were fairly easy. This time we're moving to some slightly trickier words. Could be that you come across some words that you didn't know before this, right? Zoology. Zoology also, I think we know zoology refers to animals. So this is primarily the scientific study of animals, animal structure, their classification, their reproduction, fine, their habitats. That's all about zoology. So while botany is about plants, zoology is about animals, right? Entomology is really interesting. Entomology is the study of insects. Please remember, it's a study of insects and how they connect with humans. What is the relationship of insects with humans? It's about their environment, it's about their cultivation, everything put together. So studying insects is entomology. You have to remember this. Now something different is coming this time. It is philology. Now, philology is a different discipline altogether. Okay. This very interestingly is related with language. Remember, philology is related with language. And what aspect of language? Let's be very specific. Philology actually talks about the historical development, the structure, and the relationship between different languages. So, how a language evolved. Okay, what is its structure like? What is the relation between a particular language with other languages? The scripts and the languages, their evolution, so on and so forth. That is all about philology. Okay, so very often people confuse philology with philosophy. Philosophy is a very different subject altogether. Philology is specifically about languages. Okay, sociologist is the practitioner. Likewise, semanticist is the practitioner, or the person who is a scholar of that particular field. Somebody who practices sociology or is an expert of sociology would be called a sociologist. Likewise, semanticism is the field, is the science, and the particular practitioner or person expert of it would be called semanticist. Is this much clear? Yeah? All right. Fine. So coming to sociology, I think we all know it comes from socio, which means social, which refers to the society. Yes, so that goes without saying. I think this much we already understand. They study human behavior, interaction, and all organizations. So they observe everything in the human influences and ओवरऑल सोसाइटी को क्या चीजें गवर्न करती हैं, क्या चीजें इन्फ्लुएंस करती हैं, ह्यूमंस के सोशल बिहेवियर कैसा होता है, राइट, द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ सोशल, रिलीजियस, पॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिक ग्रुप्स, ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, इंस्टीट्यूशंस, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. सोशियोलॉजी अपने आप में काफी ब्रांड्स, बहुत ही वाइड फील्ड है, आई वुड से, अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फील्ड. ये तो आपको पता होगा, सो आई वुड नॉट बी ड्वेलिंग मच ऑन दैट. आई हैव समथिंग रियली इंटरेस्टिंग, सेमांटिसिस्ट. सेमांटिक्स का मतलब होता है मीनिंग. So this is basically the science of meanings. Semantics का मतलब क्या होता है? The science of meaning. ठीक है? So this is a person who studies meanings in a language. कोई word है, उसका क्या psychological impact है, उसका एक्चुअल में क्या मतलब है, किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कैसा मतलब होगा, राइट. सो ये बहुत ही इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस होता है वर्ड्स के मीनिंग का, right? So this is specifically about the meaning. While if you contrast it with philology, philology was about the historical development and comparison and structuring of the entire language, while semanticism is specifically about the meaning. I hope this much is clear. I very much hope you'll be able to remember this, class. Yes? Okay. So chaliye, we have an exercise and a very interesting one. Let's do this quickly. All right, so I'm standing aside so that you can actually do this one. I want you to do it yourself. Okay. Fine, so I hope you have done it, right? I expected you to pause the video and do it yourself. Okay, anthropologist. See, the beauty of word power made easy is its exercises, the drills, the way they repeat things, the way they actually make you recall things and remember them. That's the most striking aspect of the book. Okay, so the wonderful drills are here. and I hope you solve them because that's how you will benefit from it. Anthropologist, एक तरफ आपके सामने वो professionals के नाम है, दूसरी तरफ the sphere or the field, okay, उसके बारे में है. You have to map it. Anthropologist, I think development of the human race, 1C. Astronomer, astronomer कौन होगा? यूनिवर्स, स्टार्स, प्लैनेट्स के बारे में स्टडी करें. सेलेस्टियल फिनोमेना, बिकॉज सेलेस्टियल रेफर्स टू things of the sky, all the planets and stars and all those things, all those bodies that are in the universe, they're called celestial. Geologist is related to the earth, it's G. Biologist, all forms of living matter, it is H. Botanist is about plant life, J. Zoologist is about animal life, I. Entomologist is about insects, yes. So where are insects? F. Philologist is about the language, how it developed, right? The language, yes. We only have this written, we don't have the details written, but it's okay. Semantics is strictly about the meaning only. So we have it here, meanings and psychological effects of words. And sociologist, community and family life. Bingo, there we go. So it was so simple and fun, wasn't it? Right? So now, so far the things were very easy. Majority things you already knew. Yes. So consider it as a reinforcement. And here onwards, the real, I think the real learning will take off, right? So today, now we would be delving into the etymology or the origin of these words, right? So let's begin. Make sure that you have a notepad and you keep on jotting all the words. There are some really interesting roots lined up for you. So the first root is astron, as I had told you fleetingly that astron means star. Okay, so with this we have these some common words. Astrology, astronomy. Now these are often confused words, I would say, commonly confused words. And astrology is more about, a kind of horoscope. It's about prediction. On the basis of the position of stars and planets. So this is also a study of stars, but its focus is on how it impacts the human future and human life. Right? Whereas astronomy, this looks like more of an occult kind of a science, but astronomy is pure science, a very interesting science where you study the universe, you're studying about the cosmos, you study about planets, stars, asteroids, and all those bodies that are there, galaxies and everything, right? That is astronomy. Asterisk is another very nice word. Now, what is this? This is just a symbol, which is a star-like symbol. This is an asterisk, right? So we have this in our computer keyboard also. Okay, so this is a nice and important symbol, asterisk. Often हम इसको कुछ नोटेशन के तौर पे कोई चीज इंट्रोड्यूस करने के लिए, कोई चीज को हाईलाइट करने के लिए, कभी कभी फुटर में इस तरह से इस्तेमाल करते हैं. It's a symbol. Okay. Disaster very interestingly comes from this. Now, the connection would be just this, that see, aster is star. Okay, astron, aster is star. Now, this is how this is a negative word. And disaster would actually mean a calamity. Disaster is a calamity or a catastrophe. है ना? तो कैसे ये एक बहुत ही बड़ा कोई खराब सा इवेंट हो गया है, कोई डिजास्टर हो गया है ना, कोई आपदा हो गई है ना, और कोई नेचुरल डिजास्टर, तो हम ये कहते हैं व्हेन द स्टार्स गो बैड, दैट इज व्हाट, कि अगर हम कहते हैं ना कि उसके साथ में लाइफ में खराबी हो रहा है, अरे उसके तारे गर्दिश में है ना, सो हम कहते हैं कि वर्ल्ड पे कोई भी इस तरह की खराब कोई सिचुएशन आती है, कोई डिजास्टर आती है, कहीं पे सुनामी आ जाती है, कभी अर्थक्वेक आ जाता है, which causes widespread destruction. So that is basically because the stars are in the wrong position. That is how this word got its origin. Interesting, right? Okay. Another one is astrophysics, a very interesting specialization of physics where you actually apply the laws of physics to the world of universe, right? Specifically, यहाँ पे you'll be talking about the physical aspects of all the celestial bodies and the universe. So you talk about how the universe came into origin, right? You apply the quantum physics to it. You see how the stars are made, the life cycle of a star and all those things, specifically the Doppler effect and all those laws of physics being applied to universe to understand universe better and its origin, its genesis, and the various aspects and components of the universe. So basically physics के through हम universe को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. That is astrophysics. I hope this much is clear. Now this is the next root word which is not, या nose भी कहते हैं. A very nice one, and this very interestingly means to sail. You'll be wondering कि sail तो फिर ये एस्ट्रोनॉट तो यार पानी में थोड़ी तैर रहा होता है, ये तो यूनिवर्स में होता है. एस्ट्रोनॉट जो होते हैं, we know that they actually go to the space, right? Kalpana Chawla and so many, right? The idea here is that astronauts are people who travel in space. And since we know that there is no gravity in space, so walking in space is almost like you're floating in space or you are sailing in space. Hence, sail not यहाँ पे आ गया. और एस्ट्रॉन तो आप ऑलरेडी जानते हो मीन स्टार, है ना? So एस्ट्रॉन तो स्टार है, we just studied in the previous slide. Fine, but it actually refers to star. सारे का universe में है. So astronaut is a person who sails in the universe. That's how the word came. Nautical. You must have heard the expression nautical signs, nautical miles, है ना? तो nautical is related to sea. Specifically in terms of sailing. Fine, so nautical signs जो है, तो primarily इसका मतलब यही होता है कि आप you learn all the aspects about the sea, about the sailors, about ships. तो shipping industry में nautical signs अगर आपको जाना है shipping industry में और merchant navy में और इन सब चीजों में, तो you have to go through training in nautical science. Cosmonaut, again cosmos का मतलब क्या होता है? Cosmos means universe, है ना? Cosmos means universe. And naut again means to sail. So cosmonaut again is the same as the astronaut, I would say, somebody who sails in the universe, right? Just this word is more popular in some other countries. जैसे कि रशिया वगैरह में कॉस्मोनॉट ज्यादा बोलते हैं, एस्ट्रोनॉट नहीं बोलते. ठीक है. नॉसिया, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. सो नॉसिया जब आपको हो रहा है, यू फील अ लिटिल गिडी, अ लिटिल डिजी, आपको ऐसा लग रहा है वॉमिटिंग हो रही, यू फील प्यूकिश. Basically, this word came from seasickness, nose. This is actually seasickness. बहुत ज्यादा होता है when you are on the sea for long. आपको you feel nauseated. ठीक है? So nausea, this is how it comes from the root not या nos. I hope every word is clear and you will remember this, right? चलिए. We come to the next root word, okay, which is nomos. And nomos actually means arrangement, law, or order, right? So astronomer, astronomy. So you already know about astron. I just discussed it means star. And nomi is basically about, the order or the law. So astronomy means, studying the law of stars, the arrangement, the order, and that is what an astronomer does. So astronomer बोलो, astronomy बोलो, दोनों इसी रूट से आए हैं. ठीक है, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग रूट है. I hope it is clear. Studying the law, studying the arrangement of stars in the sky. That's how this word came. Autonomy, और इसका adjective form हो जाएगा autonomous. ये भी इससे ही आया. Now very interestingly, auto का मतलब क्या होता है? Any guesses? Auto का मतलब होता है self. Yes? सो ऑटो का मतलब होता है सेल्फ एंड क्लास दिस इज वेयर यू गेट योर असाइनमेंट. आपका असाइनमेंट ये है कि ऑटो रूट से यू हैव टू टेल मी many words that are derived from the root auto. So this is your assignment. You have to share this. You have to write these words in the comment section and I'll be waiting for your responses. Okay. So auto मतलब self होता है और nomi मतलब law या order होता है. यानी कि when you're autonomous, you follow your own law. That means you are independent. You're not bound by any other external force, right? तो आप अपने हिसाब से चलते हो, आप autonomous हो, आप independent हो. That is the meaning of autonomy, right? Or autonomous. When you have your full control, right? You follow the order or the law laid down by you yourself, right? Okay. Metronome actually pendulum को कहते हैं और उसका रीजन कुछ ऐसा है कि इसमें एक्चुअली पहले तो रूट समझो. इट कम्स फ्रॉम द रूट मेट्रॉन विच मीन्स टू मेजर. तो मेजर द ऑर्डर और द लॉ. तो पेंडुलम जो है, जो सिंपल हार्मोनिक मोशन है, उससे अगर हम कनेक्ट करें, बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट इट इज, सो इट हेल्प्स टू ट्रैक टाइम एंड टू कैलकुलेट द टाइम पीरियड, the length of the string, the gravity, the time period and everything. So you have to understand that metronome जो है ये basically एक pendulum type का एक चीज है और उसका नाम measure से आया और nome से मतलब you try to measure the order of the swing or of the oscillation. So you don't have to like think much about it or worry much about it. This was just FYI. Not a very important word though. Not something that you should bother much about. But just knowing that metronome is a pendulum is good enough for you. Right? कुछ नया word तो सीखा आपने. That should make you feel good. Right? चलिए ठीक है. Geo, I think you already know this. We discussed geology. Right? So geo is earth. Geology, as we've already discussed, comes from the root geo, which means earth, plus logos, which means study or science. I've already explained geology. Geometry. Metry refers to metron, which means measurement or to measure, right? So geometry refers to measuring all the, I would say, shapes and bodies which are there on earth. Fine, so be it in the shape of a cylinder or a cone or any kind of, it could be a prism or a pyramid or whatever kind of a structure you have. Okay, geometry में हम यही तो करते हैं. 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional या multi-dimensional, we try to measure, right? So it's all about measurement of physical objects which are found on earth, right? Geometry. अब आप उसको दूसरे स्पेस में भी ले जाके कर सकते हो, but essentially I am telling you about its etymology, right? Okay. Geography, very interestingly, comes from the root graphene. And what does graphene mean? Primarily means to write or to record. I think I've told you in my previous sessions. Fine. So geo is earth, we know, and graphene is writing or recording. So you're actually studying about, the various physical forms that are there on earth. कहाँ पे sea है, कहाँ पहाड़ है, plateau है, right? And everything about it or around it, right? You're trying to study and you're trying to record and write it, right? So that is geography. We all have studied geography, not just for a year, for many years altogether, right? So I hope you understand geography. See, आपको at a point हो सकता है लग रहा है कि अरे ये तो common words and I already know this. The idea is to make you realize the roots, the etymology, the origin. And this will even help you in understanding and connecting it with some other words. तो कभी कोई नया word भी आ सकता है based on the same root, and that is where this knowledge is going to come handy, right? So this was all. Now we are finally wrapping it up with this very interesting exercise. So let's do this, class. Come on, pause the video and just do it. You just have to mark yes or no. Okay, so I hope you've done it already. Yes? Okay, let's do it together now. Are anthropological studies concerned with plant life? Absolutely not. Anthropology is about the study of humans, especially with respect to their societies, how they evolved, how their societies developed. So it's about humans and not plant life. So it's a big no. Are astronomical numbers extremely small? Now, this is one interesting thing. When I was talking about astronomy, there is a word astronomical. And when we call something astronomical, it means it's of the order of the universe. It's that huge. So astronomical simply means very huge. Astronomical data, astronomical value. जब हम किसी चीज को astronomical value और importance बोलते हैं, we simply mean that it is like, huge, right? So it says, are astronomical numbers extremely small? No, they are very huge. Is an astrologer interested in the time and date of your birth? Tell me. Yes, of course. पूछते हैं ना, जो वो आपके वो ज्योतिषी जी होते हैं, वो पूछते हैं टाइम, क्योंकि उनको एग्जैक्ट पता लगाना है कि जिस वक्त आप पैदा हुए क्या ग्रह थे, है ना? सो इट्स अ बिग यस. Are nautical maneuvers carried on at sea? Nautical is anything related to sea. So if you are maneuvering, if you are navigating through the sea, that would be called a nautical maneuver. Yes, and so the answer is yes. Does a disastrous earthquake take a huge toll of life and property? This is just simply the use of the word disaster. Disaster का adjective form हुआ disastrous. And obviously it will take a toll on life and property. Yes, because it's a disaster. It was not a very weak kind of an earthquake. Finally, question 6. Do geological investigations sometimes determine where oil is to be found? So the answer is geological. If we want to talk about geological investigations, that has got something related to Earth, right? And obviously, when you talk about determining oil and all that, you will have to dig in the layers of the Earth, right? So obviously, it's yes. Does a geometrician work with mathematics? Absolutely, because geometry is about, finding the measurements and the dimensions of objects. So obviously, it's a field of maths. Answer is yes. Okay, class. So, wasn't it interesting? I hope you really learned a couple of nice words here. You got to know about such interesting roots. I am sure you didn't know about not as a root, right? And जो मैंने आपको assignment दिया, I want answers to that. Let's see how many words you come up with. And if you have not watched any of our previous sessions, make sure you watch it. This is such amazing root words and nice exercises served to you in a platter straight away. So make sure that you take maximum advantage of this. And that's all for today. I'm signing off, right? Stay well, study well. Bye.